Hello, it's Polish Pol VR, welcome to my channel and let's do another awesome episode of PlayStation VR Showcase, a weekly show in which we're looking at all the upcoming PlayStation VR games, the good looking ones, the shitty looking ones, the games that are 100% confirmed, the games that are delayed, rumored, sometimes cancelled. I'm gonna tell you all about all of those games because I just like to keep you updated about status and about what's happening or might happen in the future in the PlayStation VR world. But most importantly, 80% of times I'm trying to stick to 100% confirmed games, so if you like what you're seeing, then please press a like because it does help the channel a lot, and if you're new to the channel and are not subscribed, then subscribe. It's always better when it's more of us. Okay, let's do it. We're gonna kick the show off with AIRRANGER. Now, this game coming from the developers of Kingdom of Blades, if you ever played that one, or City Avenger, that it's never came out to Europe yet, but you know, it's like another game what they did. Now, this one is something completely different. It's a online, maybe Battle Royale / Fortnite game. Apart from Battle Royale mode, it's got different modes as well. Battle Royale supports about 10 players. You locomoting using your bow. You got locomotion arrows, but you can change your direction mid-air, so it's kind of work a bit like Sargento but with arrows instead, and of course you've got your other weapons with which you're gonna kill your enemies. Now this is coming to PC as an early access first, that's usually the case, but then after that, once the game is fully released, we should see it on PlayStation VR regarding cross-platform support. I'm not sure if that's gonna work. They didn't really say much about PlayStation VR version apart from showing off that it's gonna work on PSVR headset, so it is coming. It looks kind of fun, you know, entertaining, nice little online fighting game, so something to look forward to. This is AIRRANGER. I know other games what they did, they was kind of smaller games, but saying that, they wasn't too bad games. This seems like it's their biggest project yet, so hopefully they gonna deliver, and from looks of it and the impressions from the PC versions, it looks like they will do. Okay, next game. This is a little cinematic teaser from the end of the beginning. So this game sadly is delayed for a while now. Even PC version is delayed, but it will happen. The developers saying that the game will work of course on the flat screen, but it will be fully playable in VR as well. The difference in VR will be the geometry will be a bit lower of course, and the texture quality and post effects will be a bit lower as well, but the game will work in VR. Now it's coming to PC and PSVR, but they said in past they're gonna do PC first as an early access, and then PlayStation VR version will come when the early access finishes. But saying that, early access they wanted to have it I think at the beginning of this year, and it didn't happen. I think they're getting close to it, but the game is definitely delayed for quite long time. I think they really managed to bring a big scope to this game, so there's a lot of going on and it looks like it's gonna be on bigger side, and I think that's why it's just a bit delayed. Okay, next game. ILYSIA. So this game was called Tales of ILYSIA, but they had to change the name. In this game you will be travel alongside another players and you'll be going on quest to explore different areas. The areas will contain bosses, dungeons, caves, outdoor cities, all waiting for you to be explored. There will be some climbing to do if you wish, so there will be some big massive giant beasts like in Shadow of the Colossus who you can interact with. You're gonna have your little vintage gypsy cart, which is your happy place, and this game gonna be nice multiplayer online RPG. Not much gameplay from it yet. This is what you're seeing, just a little teaser of the land. Many assets already changed, like trees and stuff already look better, but just putting it out there, this game is coming and it might be fun. Okay, next game. Reiko's Fragment. Now this game is only rumored. The developers said they might thinking about doing PlayStation VR version, but by no means it's confirmed, but saying that it might be coming in the future. This is a game basically player versus the crowd. It's a horror game in which virtual reality player is inside its nice cozy headset going through a very scary house, and it's getting even more scary because people around you or people watching your stream or watching whatever you're playing, they can just scare you through their mobile phones. They can just mess around with you. So if you're playing with your friends, they can join in and they can be like, yeah, let's make him shit himself. Or if you are a streamer or whatever, then you can just put the code on the screen and then it will give it to the people watching and they will be scaring you. Works great, sounds good, I watched some streams, looks hilarious. Okay, and now here we have Tarzan VR. So I don't preview about it, but I want to show you review this trailer a bit more, because Tarzan VR looks good, coming from the developers of Exorcist Legion VR, as Exorcist is gonna come in episodes as well. And another video where I don't want to speak too much, it's the Walking Dead Saints and Sinners. The developers put out little kind of dev diary, so I let you listen to that.
Walking Dead definitely has strong roots in the American South. It's really got this kind of rural American vibe to it. We wanted to maintain some of that cultural heritage, but definitely put a different spin on it and find a place that's like, well, I mean, New Orleans is probably the most unique city in the United States, right?
Resilience of that city, right? Like, we all know it. I think that that's something that we're really trying to explore in terms of, again, the human side of things. The Walking Dead universe is all about resilience as it is, and then you magnify that with a city that has proven extremely resilient over the years.
Coolest things is the levels in general. You'll go through and the environments are beautiful, you know, kind of this disaster-torn area, and you're just navigating through trying to figure out, you know, how do I accomplish my objective, but also this environmental storytelling that's going on in there.
One of the things that we encouraged the environment artists to do was to really think about the space that they're working in, and if it's a room, tell the story of that room. What happened in this room? You know, don't just make it a room that's got some trash around. Do a little bit of environmental storytelling to say, oh, this room was broken into once, it got looted, somebody may have died in the corner here, all these things. And that, when you walk into a space like that, and you can already put that together in your mind, suddenly the world becomes a lot bigger and it feels a lot more real.
A lot of the player exploration is going to be like looting areas of like the Garden District or the Bywater, and they have buildings and houses, and so building out those houses was pretty fun. I felt almost like a floor planner. There's also just kind of like secret loot stashes. There's some areas where it's harder to get to, like you have to climb a thing to get to it, and that's where like more hidden loot is found.
We're able to take little vignettes throughout the level and do like a wrecked car with, you know, maybe some people were trying to escape and they had an accident. High school where the whole community is kind of gathered together and things went wrong. You know, telling those kinds of stories.
From its first inception, we were trying to figure out what was going to be a compelling space for the player to kind of have as a home base. We ended up landing on a cemetery because it had nice big high walls. We could kind of explain why there's no walkers in that area. You know, it's a nice defensible place. And so we had this idea for a bus that, since it's a cemetery, it's near a church, so it was going to be a church bus that you have, and you can, and the previous resident has kind of customized the whole thing.
I think also visually and just like musically, just all the atmosphere, it gives it a very unique flair. You know, we get to bring in some of the heart and soul of New Orleans in the music and in the tone of the place. You know, we definitely have a little bit of the sadness and that comes in with a post-apocalyptic setting like that, but we still have all the bright colors of New Orleans. So you're walking around in this devastated area, you still got the tropical trees, and you've got these brightly colored houses, and you can see like what the city was, right, and what the culture was that lived there. So I think it's really a powerful juxtaposition in the universe of The Walking Dead.
And And last but not least, we've got Boiling Steel gameplay. The developers put out new gameplay on their YouTube channel. Boiling Steel coming to PCs this year, PlayStation VR next year. In this game, you just one last remaining human on the planet full of robots that wants to kill all humans, but instead you're gonna kill them all. Coming from the studio Mirrorwind VR, the same studio that brought you Bulletproof, the Guns and Stories, which was kind of fun, but this is very different game. It looks like much bigger game as well. It's got smooth locomotion and everything, so looks quite good. And that's it, bye.